I'm in my zone. Woke up today, feeling brand new, nothing in my way. Sun gon' shine, yeah, it's here to stay. And I'm gonna say what I need to say. Hey, I'm feeling free. Everybody watch, I'm doing me. Go ahead and look, cause you gon' see that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone. I'm doing me, yeah, doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. Woke up today, feeling brand new, nothing in my way. Sun gon' shine, yeah, it's here to stay. And I'm gonna say what I need to say. Hey, I'm feeling free. Everybody watch, I'm doing me. Go ahead and look, cause you gon' see that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. I'm in my zone.
I've been talking in my sleep. I'm running deep, training till dusk. I've been playing hard to beat. I feel the heat, it's never enough. I was waiting till the sky had fallen. Had my back till I could hear my calling. To the battlefield we hear the drumming. To the flames we're champions to rise. The arena destiny is calling. Like the fire victory is falling. On the podium when we start humming. Hear the echoes glowing never dies. I've been chasing every dream to the extreme. The essence of trust. I've been reaching for the stars, raising bars in the name of the just. I was waiting till the sky had fallen. Had my back till I could hear my calling. To the battlefield we hear the drumming. To the flames we're champions to rise. The arena destiny is calling. Like the fire.
What's up?
So, like, that was not the Four Nations face-off level of play.
Yeah.
That was just downright dog water, as the kids would say. That was Ohio. That was whatever you want to call it. The Pittsburgh Penguins were trash. And there's no denying it. I think there's a lot that could come from this game. The Pittsburgh Penguins do fall to the Washington Capitals 8-3. It was not a fun watch. In fact, during the third period, my dog took a 8-3 on the floor, and I had to clean it up, which is why I was a little behind on tweeting in the third period. But Josh, not a good game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not whatsoever. Just not a good game.
Yeah, that was rough. It was rough to watch.
Yeah.
Rough to be engaged in. Because like kind of like you said, like with Four Nations, it was nice. Like I was engaged. The level of play was top notch, and today just felt like this is Pee Wee hockey we're watching. This was I don't even know how to describe it because
Josh, I'll tell you, I play beer league hockey. That's what I was watching.
Yeah, that's
what I was watching.
Yeah,
that's what I was watching out there.
Yeah, unreal. I don't know. I mean, I guess kind of what you were alluding to before the Four Nations break. We're just going to go into every game just hoping Sid gets a point, and we'll just we'll take the wins as they come, but we're not expecting them at this point. So let's just let's hope that Sid gets a point and move on. So,
Josh, couldn't say it any better myself. We have a lot to talk about, mainly all negative stuff, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome to the show.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Trinity shot. Penguins win it!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.
Yeah. Armand from YouTube, from the top ropes, just what a disgrace. I mean, it's 100%. I mean, it's the Penguins look good in the first period. The Penguins look good.
Sid looked good. That was it.
Okay. Yeah. But actually, you know what, Josh? We're jumping ahead because we have a bad taste in our mouth right now because of the loss. But let's not take away what today really was, which was just an homage and just a downright celebration of Mike Lang. Mike Lang, who passed away this week. He was, from 1908? No, before that.
No. It was like
1972 to 2021. Has been the radio announcer for the Pittsburgh Penguins, has been the guy to captivate audiences, to bring a overall culture to the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey that has transcended Penguins hockey, that's been into the NHL. Our favorites, it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh, scratch my back with a rusty razor. There's scratch my back with a hacksaw. With a hacksaw. And then
Smiling
there
like
is
a butcher's dog.
Smiling like a butcher's dog. He beat him like a red a red mule? No, what's that one?
Not a red mule, but I think it is something like a rented mule or something like that.
Is it?
It's something like that. But there's so many Mike Lang.
Now you have me second guessing. Yeah.
That I mean, you said it. Like it trends. He went beyond just Penguins hockey. I knew that everyone knew who Mike Lang was, but after his passing and seeing all the posts and all the videos and all the tribute stuff, just from the hockey community in general, there's other, broadcasters from other teams, saying thanks and, tribute and, showing appreciation to Mike Lang. And then there's ESPN of all networks, showing appreciation towards him. I was listening to ESPN radio. I think it was Thursday, the day, because I think he passed on Wednesday.
Correct. Or Tuesday night, or It was something like that. It was earlier. Yeah.
Whatever it was the next day, ESPN radio, who hardly ever covers any hockey, first of all, was covering Four Nations, which was super cool to hear. But then second, actually discussing Mike Lang. ESPN radio, who, like I said, hardly ever covers hockey in general, went out of their way to insert a tribute to Mike Lang and actually played a lot of his, sound bites throughout his career. It started with, Lemieux and touches of of Yager and Crosby and Malkin and all of his great stuff just put in there. And I'm like, this is great. This is nice. And it just goes to show you that, kind of what we're experiencing with Crosby now. Like Mike Lang was our guy, but the impact goes beyond Pittsburgh. The impact goes beyond the Penguins. The impact goes to the entire, hockey community. Perfect. I think parallel example would be Johnny Gaudreau. The impact that he had on Columbus and Calgary were high, huge impacts on those cities.
Yeah.
But beyond that, just the hockey community, it went beyond it. And, we saw that with the Four Nations. Mike Eruzione comes out in a Johnny Gaudreau USA hockey jersey. All the love and appreciation shown to Mike Lang these past few days, the entire tribute that they had for him pregame, and I think yesterday they had like a whole was it yesterday or Friday? They I think yesterday is Friday. They had like a like a memorial or whatever
for Johnny.
No, for Mike Lang.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I was like, oh,
yeah. Sorry, no, you're good. It just goes to show you that you don't have to be a player to have the type of impact on the game that Mike Lang did. So that's one thing that I think broadcasters get a negative rap about, is that they talk too much, they're not good enough, blah blah blah.
Sure.
We were spoiled for a long time, not just Penguins fans, but hockey fans. We had Mike Lang and we had Doc Emmerich. Those two, I mean, you can throw Al Michaels in there because 1980 Miracle. That's an all-timer, just broadcaster in general, because he does multiple sports. But in hockey alone, Mike Lang, Doc Emmerich, those two are the giants and the pillars of the broadcasting hockey community. So, I mean, it's going to be a sad day when we lose Doc as well, but,
Yeah, but I mean, and I think to your point, and not to like one up or anything, but he transcended hockey. I mean, and I think that's why he has, so much reach on ESPN, is because every broadcaster know who Mike Lang is. Yeah. That's the honor. I mean, when we had Josh Getzoff on for the first time, and hearing the stories of kind of passing the torch from Mike Lang to Josh Getzoff, it was so cool. And for Josh Getzoff, it was so surreal because of the legendary impact that he had. And I loved the touch of having all the current broadcasters out in the memorial. Stupid ESPN rushed commercials. We couldn't get to see it. But really cool to see Josh Getzoff, Phil Bourque. You had the radio guys out there. Just to say, hey, this is they are a part of a team too. And I love what Sidney Crosby said during the tribute video, which is, when you think of Mike Lang, you think he's a member of the team. And I think that's how all those broadcasters now current feel. And it sucks to see one of your own go. And the legacy he has left in Pittsburgh, not only Pittsburgh, but in the broadcasting world is massive. And yeah, it's crazy. You know, for me and Josh, we grew up listening to Tom Grace, and that was our guy. Like, we tuned in after going to the Penguins games in Wilkes-Barre. We turned on the radio to listen to Tom Grace. And we didn't really listen to Pittsburgh, but I feel like we kind of have that in common with everyone in Pittsburgh. You would tune in and listen to Mike Lang talk about the hockey game. And yeah, I mean, they're like they're the guys you don't realize that are there for hockey in general. So
yeah. And
hats
can I
off to
just
Mike Lang.
say one last thing. I don't know if this is poor taste or anything, but I just like, it's just my thought process with this is that I kind of I don't know how to phrase this without making it sound weird. Like, he was just done in 2021. He just ended.
Yeah.
And he died at the age of 73, I think it was, which
or 76, I think, something like that.
Yeah, in modern medicine and everything, that's still, you know, I mean,
young.
it's older, but I mean, he could have lived another 20 years possibly, you know?
Yeah.
So, but just the short gap between the time of him retiring and the time of his passing,
yeah,
I think also plays a huge impact on, you know, everyone's memory of him.
76.
You know?
Thank you, Armand.
So the fact that we're looking at a 4-year gap here as opposed to like a 14-year gap, you know, like you're able to not that like his Langisms are, you know, going to be forgotten in any way, shape, or form, but just you have a greater appreciation for tuning in to Mike Lang and doing all that stuff, like listening to him, because it is just a short time ago that you were turning on the radio and hearing Mike Lang. You know, it wasn't like, you know, 20 years ago that you were doing that. It was 4 years ago that you were doing it. So just, I don't know, just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a little flip side to that. You could tell he still wanted to do it. He wasn't traveling on road games the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He was only doing home games because he still wanted to do it. You know, like you could tell his health wasn't the greatest because, first of all, very weary of COVID, totally understand. And then in 2021, he also didn't travel for the games. He just stayed home, and then he would do the home games. And the dedication alone speaks. You know, I think it's really great. And yeah, I mean, it sucks. You could tell, like, once again, I don't know how to say this without, you know, making it a little weird, but when we did the tribute to Mike Lang, do you remember that? It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
2019, I think it was, we did that, the Penguins. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, no, then I don't know what you're referencing.
So it was like the Mike Lang night.
2019.
It was Mike Lang, and they honored him, and they gave him a plaque, and
oh, really?
it was
I missed
this. This was I retweeted
2019.
it. I think it was 2019. Hold on. Yeah, I want to make sure this is right. I could definitely be wrong. Usually am wrong when it comes to this stuff. So I want to make sure I get this right so then people can.
Well, it's all right. I don't know. Is the date
October? Yep, I got it. October 8th of 2019. They when Mike Lang retired, or he was whatever, because it was Mike Lang night. Yes, it was Mike Lang night, October 8th, 2019. They honored the voice of the Penguins. Thank you for 45 tremendous years, Mike Lang. So it looked like he was transitioning out at this time. This was a thank you. It was a Mike Lang night. And this is where, they have pictures of him speaking to the crowd at PPG saying, like, I thank you so much. I feel so grateful to be here. And Sidney Crosby skated over with the plaque, and Mario Lemieux was there. And it was really cool. It was really cool. And I retweeted it because they had this really cool video of the history of Mike Lang and how he's always wanted to be a broadcaster, and he didn't even like hockey, but his friend brought him to a game, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's in the broadcast booth for the Penguins. And it's just so cool, his story. And all that to say is that hockey night, you could tell in 2019 that he was getting old. Like you could tell, like there was, like it was. Well, no, just like you know how you could tell, like they're not moving as freely as they. So it's just like you saw, like, oh, okay, like, it's like similar to when our grandfather, passed. Like you can see, like, oh, okay, something's going on there. So, it's sad to see, sad that Mike Lang, is gone. He's such a pinnacle, such a pillar of Penguins hockey. No one will be able to fill his shoes. Not here. Not now. It's no one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh gets off. Sorry.
I think he'll admit to that.
Yeah, it's no one. No one could fill his shoes, and it's awesome. So with that, we salute you, Mike Lang, and Elvis has just left the building. Yeah. Josh, do you have a favorite Mike Langism?
Yeah, I was thinking about it because I figured you were probably going to ask something like that. The only thing that, like, I can think of that is, like, when I hear this, I think Mike Lang. I mean, granted, his stuff is so, like, specific, like Armand puts up, slap me silly Sydney. Like, no one says slap me silly as like a, sports expression. Mm-hmm. That's just not a thing. So, like, his expressions are so just him specific. So it's obviously all of those will trigger my thought to Mike Lang. But when I think Mike Lang, I think it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
that's what Mike Sullivan said.
Real?
Yeah. Mike Sullivan said, when I think of Mike Lang, I think of it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
100%. 100%.
It's hard to argue that, and I think that's a lot of people's answer. I feel like I have to come up with a fun one. Yeah, slap me silly, Sydney. All those are good ones. But the one that, like, when I hear, I always, like, giggle is get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll. And I'm like, what is that? I love it. It's just like, what does that mean? Or I'll meet you in the yard for all the marbles or something like that. Like, it's those where I'm like, it's awesome. It's
and his goal call in general, where he shoots.
Yeah. I was noticing that, how it's so definitive. It's so distinct is the correct word. Where it's like he shoots and scores. And then it's like, that's awesome, dude. Like, there's no one that could, because if somebody tried that now, they would say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But when he did it, you knew it was a place from sincerity, and that's why you loved it. Same thing with Doc Emmerich. When, like, you would hear, he waffle boarded it away, and you're just like, dude, that's awesome, Yeah. Because they make the game more exciting. And there are, first of all, there's not a lot of people who are making the game of hockey exciting anymore, like
especially
that.
If you're tuning into ESPN.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, PK Subban is ripping apart everybody on the broadcast. Because he was there. He was on. Yeah. What am I talking about?
He was the intermission. I was referring to mainly the people who did the Minnesota Wild and Detroit game. Those guys were tough. couldn't wait
it
for
was a
that
tough-
game to get over. And then sure enough, goal in the last minute. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's going overtime
Yep.
or whatever, and yeah, it was rough. Look, ESPN can't do it. NBC was the best. I think we all can agree. Even though if you hate Pierre Maguire, doesn't matter. At least it was a good watch.
He's better
So-
than the new in the glass guy with ESPN.
Oh,
whoever the heck
Ray
the guy is.
Ferrero. Ray Ferrero.
Yeah. Former Penguin, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think
but
it was.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I think like it. Yeah, he's bad too. See, like
Yeah, I
Pierre
don't like
Maguire would always say, "This guy is from this college. This
Yeah,
guy is
he
from
would
this
give. He would
place."
literally give everyone's bio before just saying he's a strong.
What a
skater.
shot!
Yeah, yeah. It's like and his
It's
whole background.
it's almost like a Chris Collinsworth, which is why people it's what's going on? Oh, Chris Collinsworth. It's everyone hates him because he says everyone is the best in the game or everyone is, do you know what I'm
Now,
saying?
Here's a guy.
Now, the way he plays this sport, and then literally he'll say the guy defending him is the best as well. So it's like, who's good? Who's better? Ray
Everyone.
Ferraro does the same thing, where it's like, oh, look, would you look at this shot? And Nedeljkovic can't see it. It's like, okay, and then he goes, wow, Nedeljkovic has such good vision. It's just unbelievable. And you're just like, okay, Ray, which one is it? Which one is it, Ray? Does he have good vision or does he not have good vision? Is the other guy better or the other guy's not? So it's just stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Mike Lang was so good. But anyway, thank you, Mike Lang, for everything that you have ever done for Pittsburgh. It really is awesome. And we have been so spoiled in Pittsburgh. So with that, thank you so much. Josh, kind of hard to do a transition after a very sad
So and
moment.
I think I don't know about you.
Ethan.
There's not much to talk about for the game.
What do you mean,
so
Josh? You're saying it wasn't
I
good?
was wondering if you wanted to just go over the PK Subban situation with his thing towards Dubas. Because I don't know. I understand where he's coming from. Pick a lane, get guys for Crosby. Your team isn't good. Like,
All right, wait.
what do you
say that
expect from
again?
Mike Sullivan?
Are you talking about PK?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
Calling out Dubas. So
Yep.
I understand where PK is coming from. And there's a part of me that agrees with him. But also there's a part of me that sees what Dubas is doing and saying, what else do you want him to do? Because the thing is, he's trying to prepare the team for the future. You can't do that by handcuffing yourself to giant contracts for, short term and trading away future prospects and future assets for short term goals. That's what Jim Rutherford did. And granted, we got a cup from it, 2 cups from it.
Yeah. Two.
We'll say 2.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the first one was technically, what do you think? The Black Aces really carried that team.
No.
Not so much. What? Oh, Gensel, Rust, Kunak.
You think they're the ones who carried it?
No, but I just mean they were the assets that were brought in. They, it wasn't any type of
Sure.
huge trade that came in and did anything like that. But whatever. 2 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
2 Stanley Cups.
Two of them.
I don't think that is Dubas's plan. So I think PK Subban is seeing Crosby, Malkin, Letang give these guys excellent players to play with. But Dubas sees 38, 37, and 35 and says, I need to start preparing for
life after. Right.
2028. what's going to happen in 2028? These guys aren't going to be here. What's going to be here? Like, he doesn't want to be left with, like a skeleton crew of a team, of a whole bunch of, Cody Glasses. No shade at Cody Glass, but just saying, can't have a team full of them.
He drew penalty. Here's where I'll argue with that.
Yes, he did.
He has a skeleton team now.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Listen, but you're saying, oh, he doesn't want to be left with a skeleton team. He has that now. And
Yeah.
I think the PK Subban rant is 2 years too late.
Yes, that's my point. Yes.
So
yes.
the fans have been asking to get a cup for Crosby. It's been 2 years in the making.
Longer.
I mean, yeah, but like, it wasn't a realization until we missed the playoffs and we're like, oh no, like,
Yeah, that's fair.
Rebuild is happening. We need to get people in here. Who can we get? Erik Karlsson. Awesome. That was a waste. So it's kind of like, listen, the rant of calling out Dubas is 2 years too late. The problem is, and I think the problem with what I have with what you're saying, is that Kyle Dubas is playing for the future. Then why did he get here? Why did he come here? Because, listen, remember what he said when he first got here. Sidney Crosby and Mike Sullivan. Well, you currently are not winning.
Yeah.
If this was any other sport, if this was any other team, Dubas would be on the hot seat. He came in saying, I believe with Mike Sullivan and Sidney Crosby, you're up for grabs for a Stanley Cup, right? That's what he said. There's receipts for that. He said that was one of the main reasons why I came to Pittsburgh. I talked to two people, Mike Sullivan and Sidney Crosby, and I believe we could win a cup. Awesome. Got the boys buzzing from that, right? Everyone's excited. What is he going to do? He's got to make a big trade. Oh, Karlsson. People were ecstatic. We are a year from that.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened. Nothing is for... I get it. He has his future now. I think now he has his future. But he's what I'm saying is, we all know the season's done. The Penguins are done. Like, today was the final nail in the coffin that the Penguins are not making the playoffs again. The Penguins are just nowhere to being a winning franchise. This is when he has to start making the decisions. Who are we keeping? Who are we moving on from? And is that Karlsson? As much as we hate it, is that Raquel? Is that what we need to do to get a winning team? Listen, we get rid of Erik Karlsson's contract. Raquel, we trade Raquel for some lower end guys that can help be a solid bottom six. Do we go out and get a guy like Mitch Marner, who played phenomenal with Sidney Crosby in the Four Nations? Do we go and get him? Do we go get someone to be the face of the franchise? Or do we pull the trigger on what we have in Wilkes-Barre? The question is, we don't know. And the problem with the frustration with PK Subban, which he's coming in way too late. We've been saying this for a year. The problem with what he's saying is there's no direction. There's no direction. And this is what I said, which is what PK Subban is saying. Pick a lane. Are we winning or are we rebuilding? Okay? Clearly it's rebuild, which, the multiple trades and all that have pointed to a full rebuild, which is fine. I'm okay with. Like I said, I'm okay with. But you have Crosby for the next 2 years. Minimum. You need to figure out how to get into the playoffs in the next 2 years. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Now you are responsible to getting into the playoffs. If this was any other franchise, Dubas would be on the hot seat. Any other franchise, Mike Sullivan would have been fired. Not now, during the offseason. We have missed the last 3 playoffs. Unacceptable. I don't care if you say, "Oh, this happens to everyone." Look at Chicago. Look at Arizona. Now Utah. Look at Detroit. Look at all these franchises that were so successful and now they're bad. They went through a time of rebuilding and years of not making the playoff. Nope. We are different. We are built different.
Yeah, so then this is where I understand that everyone wants him to pick a direction, but I actually think he's been doing a good job of having a foot in both camps, because the NHL contracts that he has, the NHL contracts that he currently has on the roster can still produce in a year or 2. 2 years max. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Raquel, Crosby, Letang, maybe Carlson, those types of guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
he also has a bunch of assets in terms of young guys who are in Wilkes-Barre, who are in the juniors, who are starting to develop. Okay.
Correct.
So there's a part of me that thinks this offseason is the pivotal offseason. If he can sign guys without having to give up the young assets that can still make a push, like you were saying. Now, Mitch Marner is going to be the belle of the ball in free agency if he does decide to leave Toronto.
Correct.
Okay. But let's just say, hypothetically, we can get a Mitch Marner. We can get another guy on defense. We can solidify those positions, maybe even make a push at a goalie. Yep. Make a push at a goalie, and you run it back for 1 year. And you literally say, listen, you literally say,
I'm letting you talk.
This is it for the NHL ready now talent. If it doesn't work, you are all gone, because Malkin will be retiring. And then at that point, Carlson will pretty much be worthless at that point. But Raquel would be more tradable. Crosby will be on his final year. Letang would be tradable. All these guys would then be able to move, and you can just go straight into the young guys and just deal with the growing pains.
Sure.
And even if it's 2 years, you just match it with Crosby. So you just do 2 years. You say, this is the window. So I'm getting NHL guys for 2 years, and we're going to make the push. I feel like that's what he's been trying to do. But I think with the salary cap, with the way that it was and where our team was structured for the last couple years, I don't feel like he actually could have done it the way he wanted to. But I think now is the time to make that push, because everyone else is going to do it too. Even the sucky teams are going to be throwing money at really good players, because the salary cap is making, an unprecedented jump in these next 2 years. So you're going to see a lot of movement. And if Dubas ends up, holding the bag, during these next 2 off seasons, he may not even get another offseason after this one, because let's just say he does go this offseason with that mindset, but can't land anyone, and then in turn can't get young prospects for the guys that he now wants to trade away. What are you left with? A bunch of average players. You're left with the team that you have now. You're left with what we're dealing with, 8-3 on a Saturday afternoon against, the Washington Capitals. So I don't know. I like the 1 foot in each camp.
Sure.
I just don't. I know a lot of people don't, and that's the issue. And I mean, I'm fine with it. But try to build now and try to build for the future. What's the harm? I mean, I get it. The harm is this season, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm done.
Yeah, no, you're good. The season is up. Okay, I think me and you both can agree on that. I think the season's up. I think Dubas knows that. Sullivan knows that. Crosby knows that.
Sullivan does not know that, but yeah.
I don't.
He
think
said
that. He waited.
He said it, and when that Emily Kaplan was talking to him, he said,
was that in the third? I wasn't.
I don't know if it was in the third. No, I think it was in the first. Like, coming back from commercial, she was like on the bench, and he was like, every game is important at this time of year as we try to make a push for the playoffs. Dude, you ain't making it.
I think that was a political answer.
It's possible.
It's the same thing why Kyle Dubas is like, oh, yeah, we're committed to win. It's like, well, no, duh. Like, of course we're all committed to win, but are you, like, rebuilding or not? That's the question. I think that's you don't want a coach being like, yeah, we're trying to get the first overall pick, so we knew we were going to drop, a big old goose egg tonight, but it's okay. I hope we lose tomorrow too. It's like he's not going to say that. But here's the thing. I saw something from Matt Meager at Flux_CC on Twitter, and I told him I was going to share this because I found it very interesting. And let's do this, Josh. Let's do this. Can you see the tweets? Can you see it?
Oh, hello. Yes.
Hey, there we go. Look at this. How's that? Wow, everybody. Look at this. So this is his tweet. We're sitting on the number 6 pick right now after this game. We have a 7.5% chance to win the draft lottery right now. That's 1.5% higher than it was when we got set. Here's the deal.
Okay? All right, say what you want. That may have been rigged.
It may have. It may not have. But I don't care. Here's the deal, what I really liked about that. Okay? Maybe this was Dubas' plan all along. Okay? He knew. Now, I'm all speaking in hypotheticals, by the way. But this is... Imagine if Dubas was like, we're not making the playoffs this year. He knew that because he knew the team wasn't talented enough. But he was like, I am priming this team to be getting the first overall pick. Not first, but, high fives.
Top pick. Yeah.
Top pick. And then going all in next year. I think the goal is to get Wilkes-Barre to win this year. I genuinely think the goal is to get Wilkes-Barre a Calder Cup. And then, great, you guys won in Wilkes-Barre. I'll come up in Pittsburgh. We're going to clean house, and we're going to make a trade to get a very high-profile player to play with Sidney Crosby for his remaining contract. I think it's necessary. I think that's the right move. I think after this Four Nations proved that Mike Sullivan could still be a good coach. And this is where we landed ourselves a little bit of a predicament here. Because if USA got eliminated, it was bye-bye Sullivan in the offseason. But now you're like, but if we get a team together, we could run this thing back. Okay?
Let them cook.
So, and granted, I know the argument is those were the best American players in the world. I could coach them, well, the best United States players in the world, Josh.
Yeah.
When you frame it like that, it makes it wider. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway.
I guess.
Josh, I could coach him. All right, guys.
Then why not?
Fight everybody.
Here you go. Here's the trade. Before the lottery is announced, you trade our first pick to Minnesota for Boldy, Fabian, and there was another American guy.
Slavin? Slavin?
No. That guy is in the Hurricanes or whatever. No. There was three. I think there was three Minnesota Wild players in the Four Nations
Four
face-off.
Nations.
Yeah, you just get those guys. Get the guys that Sullivan
Just
played-
recreate.
Exactly. You recreate Team USA. and
Trade
you
for
just
the
let 'em
Kachuk brothers. All right. Trade for them.
go. Yeah. Like you
How
literally
funny.
just
Listen,
everyone but the Kachuk brothers, because I like them as USA players, but like
Hate
NHL
'em.
regular
Hate 'em. It's
season,
the-
hate them. And I hate them.
Get them out. You know what's funny, Josh? Guess who I saw center ice Four Nations after they won? Freaking Kyle Dubas. What's he doing over there?
He was the GM of Team Canada.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Listen.
There was penguins all over the Four Nations because the GM
There
of
was
the,
a Josh.
listen, because the GM of Team USA was Bill Guerin, former Penguin.
Yeah, I know, but they're not counting it
Gensel,
off of that.
former Penguin. Mike Sullivan,
he-
former Penguin.
hey,
I mean, not,
he was
not
getting-
former Penguin.
Hey, did you see that final? Did you see that final? They were butting heads a little bit. Gensel and Sid. Gensel and Sid?
So maybe there's more to the story. Maybe there's more to the story than just contract
Crosby's checking him
negotiations.
a little extra, like you freaking, Benedict Arnold. Bang.
Was it, or was
We
it-
could have won.
No, or was it you thought you were going to take the throne from me in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. I still got 5 years, my guy.
Yeah.
You're going to retire before I do.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the guy in Pittsburgh? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm going to get double point per game. I'm going to get 2 point per game this season.
Yeah. Show you, Jake.
I'll show you, Jay. I'll get my own shake, all right?
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. After the Four Nations, I think it piqued a lot of people's interest of, wow, Mike Sullivan's a really good coach. I wonder why the Penguins are struggling. I think a lot of people, they talked about it today. They said, I think the main broadcaster said that, he proved that he's still one of the best coaches in the world. But then you look at the Penguins today and go, well, what's the disconnect?
Yeah.
Because they're great, talented hockey players. We got Erik Karlsson. We got Sidney Crosby. We got Evgeny Malkin, who was a ghost today. He played today.
Evgeny Malkin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think he
he
looked
did.
bad. For his first
He
game
was a
back, I didn't think he
ghost.
looked bad.
Josh Crosby has a broken wing and just played in a final 48 hours ago. Scored.
He literally has been playing for 2 weeks. Malkin has been on the bench for 2.5
exhausted.
weeks.
Should be exhausted
I know,
because
but
he partied so hard.
Okay,
Josh.
but there's also a thing about being in hockey shape when you are not playing for 2 weeks, and that's why I think Nedeljkovic and Blomqvist got roasted tonight because it's been 2.5 weeks not playing hockey.
Nedeljkovic looked so bad.
So bad. So
It's
bad.
like,
Oh,
so bad.
wait. I'm sorry. Armand? Stanley Cup if that happens. Stanley
Dude,
Cup
if
that happens.
if we get
If
both
that
Marner
happens.
and Rantanen,
I don't care
we
about
got-
our defense. I don't care about our defense at that point.
we got bot. All right. First of all, if Dubas goes after Rantanen and Marner, dude, game over. Penguins are gonna win the cup.
No. Obviously, we're pulling the cart before the horse because we were mapping the parade when we got Carlson. So,
Penguins are just.
but this is
Penguins
different.
fans
These guys are
just
younger.
hopeful.
These guys are younger and better.
How old? Siri, how old is Mitch Marner?
He's 27.
Hey, Josh, let Siri do her job. Okay? How about you stop taking jobs away from women? How old is Mitch Marner? He is, in fact, 27, Josh.
Told you. How old is
That's
Ransman?
old.
It's not old.
How old is Mikko Rantanen?
28.
Mikko Rantanen is 28 years old.
Josh, let her do her job!
Let's go.
So, that's old. I don't care what you say. I think we need younger guys.
It's not. We could literally have each of them for the next 8 years.
Hey, Josh, I want a cup now!
No, I'm just saying you can have them for 8 years. That's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. These guys
Yeah.
are already old. They're going to want a major contract. We
Yeah.
can't have that. No,
Yes, we
I
can.
want young guys who are
Absolutely.
naive and says, I want to play for the cup, and we're going to be like, absolutely. We'll get you on an 8-year contract for $5 million a year. It's going to be great.
Okay, I got a 2-parter for you. Maybe a 3-parter. Maybe a 3-parter. So
Make it a 4.
we get a top 5 pick. Okay?
Top 5, yeah. Love it.
Of these 3 options, what would you do? Trade it for NHL talent,
Yes.
draft a prospect that still needs a year or two, or
Sure.
draft a guy who could potentially come up that same year.
Josh, I'll give you a 5th option, which I know you only gave
what?
me 3. So here's my 5th option I'm introducing. Let me preface by saying the Pittsburgh Penguins find themselves in a Minnesota Vikings situation right now. Okay. And let me explain what that means. We are sitting on a potential franchise leader. And we're like, should we just go get another quarterback? Right? That's what's being thrown out there. Minnesota Vikings have J.J. McCarthy. He was drafted, got hurt. He is now in limbo right now in Minnesota Vikings world because we could go re-sign Sam Darnold or go get another old head to be, the quarterback for another year, leaving this guy just chilling. Penguins find themselves the same thing with Rucker McGroarty.
You think he's still the guy?
I think he is still the guy, but here's the thing. Tell me who's available this draft.
Well, there's 2 guys.
That is a harsh gamble to say that we're going to get the top 2 picks.
Okay, but no, that's what I'm saying. Let's say
Unless
let's just
we
say
lose out.
Listen, let's just say we get the first pick. So you can choose. Stop. You can get either one of those guys. The guy from Boston College that maybe needs a year or two, or the guy that's in the
QMHL, whatever.
Whatever that is, who's pretty much ready to go. So I'm
sure,
blanking on
I
the
get
positions.
to choose. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so you get to choose. The guy who
I
needs to wait a year.
misunderstood your question. I misunderstood. I thought you meant our current pick, which is right now a 5. You're saying if we get a first round draft, like a first overall.
Correct.
Okay.
No one is ahead of you. It is your choosing.
I misunderstood this question. So if it was a first overall, that changes things. I thought you were saying if we have our current pick now, which is as of right now number 5 in the NHL.
Even if it is number 5.
No, because there's not 5 guys that are good. You know what I'm saying?
No. But what I'm saying is you're presented with 2 guys. Okay.
Sure.
I don't care if it's pick number 13. You're presented with 2 guys. One guy needs another year to develop, kind of like a Braden Yeager needs another year, or a guy who is pretty much ready to go now. Or you decide I'm going to trade it for some dude. Dead air. Love it.
Yeah. This is good for podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is where I want clarity from Dubas. Me personally.
You're going to get it with that decision. Yeah, 100%.
Because if he goes, I want to win now, trade that pick, baby. Like, trade that pick to Toronto or Carolina or wherever Rantanen is in right now. He's in Carolina, right?
Carolina, yeah.
So either
but he'll be a free agent.
I know. I'm saying like those guys.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Get a guy like Mitch Marner, get a guy like Rantanen to be the guy that we already know can produce.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to win a Stanley Cup. That's with the draft pick. There are busts and you are gambling with the franchise that frankly we don't have time to gamble anymore. We have lost that opportunity. Braden Yeager,
are we just entering that era?
Because we traded away Braden Yeager for a guy who's ready. Which means
but then
we want to win out.
But then ended up showing he was not ready.
Correct. But guess what? If he is not ready by next year, sounds like a pretty good trade bait. So I'm completely fine with trading we already did trade Braden Yeager. Rucker McGroarty if he's not ready. Like I want him to be ready. I think he could be a really good hockey player. I think so too, especially how well the Wilkes-Barre is playing. Listen, I don't care what you say. Some guys aren't going to be putting up the numbers in AHL, and then when you call them up to Pittsburgh and they understand that this is the NHL, they always somehow put up better numbers than they did in Wilkes-Barre. Brian Rust is a prime Kuhnackel. Great comparison. Those guys. Great. The only one that's not is Gensel, because Gensel was like dominating the AHL.
He broke every record in the AHL.
I remember. It's a real quick fact about Jake Gensel. During the 16 year, he got called up, and it was like for 3 weeks he was in the NHL, and he was still the AHL leading goal scorer. And it was just wild to think about that.
It wasn't until like the last month of the year. Of the season,
it got
that
passed.
Like someone passed him. Yeah, he was so far ahead. He had like a 20-30 goal lead on everyone. He was a
phenomenal AHL player.
Yeah,
and I don't think Penguins will ever find a guy like that again.
Hopefully, he was third rounder.
But see, that's the thing about hockey that is so confusing. It's not like the NFL where you're like, oh, let's draft him because we know he's going to be good. Yeah. NHL, you don't know. Like,
the game is so different.
So different from college to Canadian hockey. Like the whatever it's called. The juniors, thank you. So juniors, college, two different worlds. AHL, ECHL, and NHL, way three different worlds. So, like, some guys can produce in ECHL, but not in AHL. Some guys can produce in AHL and then somehow struggle in ECHL. And you're like, why is there a disconnect? It's hockey. I don't know. That's just how it is. There are guys that we will draft that won't go and succeed, which sucks. Not every first-round draft pick is a Sidney Crosby. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Alex Lafreniere. I'm talking to you. Hughes, all these guys. Josh, you think he's Sidney Crosby caliber?
No, wait, but why are you calling out Quinn Hughes and the Hughes brothers? All three of them?
The Devils guy. I don't think he's that good. I think he's good, but he's not that good.
I think you need to watch tape. But wait, he wasn't coming out as the next Sidney Crosby. Connor Bedard had the hype of the next Sidney Crosby. He's still
Bedard,
early, though.
Yeah. You can't talk about Bedard, but mainly he's on a really bad hockey team. Bad hockey team. Nowhere near how the Penguins were when they drafted. Sorry, Hughes, whatever.
Next time we watch next time we play the Devils, watch him.
Okay, fine. But Alex Lafreniere, great point. I think that's a great one. Yeah. Remember, he was like, "Oh, this is going to change the game."
That was the guy that we were all upset that we missed out on during the COVID year.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
And we thought we were supposed to get him. Thank God we did it. I mean, he would just be
But hold on, you never know.
We don't know. He could have came to Pittsburgh and been the next Gretzky. That's what drives. First of all, that is what makes me love the game of hockey and hate the game of hockey in the same breath, because it is so hard to succeed in the NHL. Look at guys who, like a great name that comes to mind is like Kapanen. Remember, he did really well for us in Wilkes-Barre, called up, not great, when he moved on, and then all of a sudden he started succeeding in Toronto. And then we're like, we'll take him back. And then he didn't succeed. And then guess what? We put him on waivers, and then he went to the Blues. He succeeded at Blues. It's kind of like he just couldn't succeed in Pittsburgh.
Here. Yeah.
In Pittsburgh. In Wilkes-Barre, he was great. In St. Louis, great. Toronto, I wouldn't say great, but like he was a good hockey player.
Good. He was a good.
He
bottom six
contributed.
player. Yeah.
But in Pittsburgh, he was just dog water. So it's like some guys produce better in different systems. It's not football where it's like plug and play. Some teams are not plug and play.
Though. Yeah. Football's
It depends, because if the good football quarterbacks, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. That's every sport. But the good quarterbacks could plug in any system and succeed.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my thing is, it's not like that in Pittsburgh. I mean, hockey. Excuse me.
Hockey, yeah.
So I'm saying, why gamble on a draft pick when you could trade it and get a guy that you know is good? Okay. And I know you could say, but you just said it's a gamble. He may not succeed there.
Erik Karlsson.
Yes, but here's the thing we didn't do. And this is one little thing that I would encourage our GM, and I would do if I was a GM. You need to bring a piece in to help him out. You need to bring it. So you went through all that trouble with a 3-team trade to get Erik Karlsson and didn't get a guy to help Karlsson succeed in Pittsburgh. All that was for nothing.
So we're kind of like the trade that we just made. We got Danton Heinen and Vinny Desharnais.
Desharnais.
You have like two guys from the same team, so the adjustment is quicker. Is that what you're trying to say?
Similar, but also so if you're going out of your way to pick a high priority guy like Karlsson, you need to go to Karlsson and say, who do you want me to help you succeed here? And it's similar to...
I disagree.
Hold on. It's very similar to the Aaron Rodgers and...
Devontae Adams.
Yes. Sometimes you need to get a guy
team.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that doesn't matter. Wonder if Karlsson goes, you know who I played with Sweden that I think would be really great here?
I see.
And then Dubas should be like, I'll try to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's very similar. Like Crosby had Malkin when he got drafted. There was a little bit of young talent, and he had Eric Stahl. No, Jordan Stahl. So we had this young group of guys that were ready and hungry to compete. We will never see that again in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry to break it to you. We'll never see it like that again. Unless we suck so bad for the next 4 years, we will never see that happen again. We're not going to see the next Sidney Crosby. We're not going to see the next Evgeny Malkin. And Jordan Stahl we traded, by the way. I just want to say...
who's that guy in Minnesota, that the young guy that's kind of causing waves? Yeah. What if you trade the draft pick for Kaprizov and Boldy? Yes, I'm riding the high of USA.
Yeah,
I like Matthew Boldy. Okay, sue me. Yeah. In 2 weeks, I'll forget who the guy is, but right now, I like him.
I love Boldy. Bring him on over.
But that could be something like that. Like Kaprizov's like, yeah, I play really well when Boldy's when he's on the defensive behind me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we just got two guys. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also validity to it, because when we drafted Yager, he played really well for the first 2 months, and then he started getting homesick and his play started to dip.
Yeah.
So they went out and traded for a Russian player to speak Russian to him. And then all of a sudden, guess what happened, everybody? He didn't feel as homesick and his play went up.
That was half of Sergei Gonchar's responsibilities when he was here with Malkin.
Correct. Yeah. And it just turned out that Sergei Gonchar was good for us,
half decent. Yeah.
Half decent, And I think that's what you should have done with Karlsson. Now, Karlsson doesn't need to feel less homesick. He needs someone to be like, hey, who's a D-man partner that you would really thrive with?
I feel Marcus Pettersson. It should have been Marcus Pettersson. They're both Swedish.
It never happened. It never happened, Josh. and we had to trade away Pedersen because of the contract situation. Josh, stop it. I see what you guys are doing in the... All right, I'll throw it up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me throw it up. Yeah, so Josh, this is what Josh wants to do. Trade away our first-round draft pick for Boldy and Rossi, and we're going to the Cup because Mike Sullivan loves these guys.
I'm greedy. I want Boldy, Rossi, and Kaprizov. That's who I want.
Just give us the Minnesota Wild, and we'll be so good.
And Marc-Andre Fleury. Just throw in Marc-Andre Fleury.
Did you see that comeback? They were down 3-1.
Yeah.
Came back and win it 4-3. That's the kind of team I want to root for.
Yeah, I know. Is it bad that like I was literally watching that game, and when they came back, I'm like, all right, I know my playoff team. Like that was literally what happened. I know who I'm rooting for.
My mind was like, remember when Pens used to do that? You know, it's like, remember when the Penguins were resilient? You know?
Yeah.
Remember when they're up 3-0? We could come back and win this, you know?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, they're up 3-0. Well, this game's over.
I didn't know Pacioretty was on there. Or was it Pacioretty or Zuccarello? One of those names. Zuccarello. I was like, he's on the Wild? I didn't know that. Yeah.
But anyway, I think you have to trade. Listen, we are not in the space. Well, I want to be very clear. If the whole point is not to get Sidney Crosby a cup,
trade it now.
Yeah, correct, Josh. That's what I'm getting at. I think if the whole goal is to get Sidney Crosby, Josh, can you stop right now? Listen, no. Let me talk about that in a second. Let me make my point first.
Okay.
If the whole goal is to get Sidney Crosby a cup now, trade the pick, get a guy who can win the cup now. But if the goal is not to win a cup with Sid, then use the draft pick. Now, to address Armand's thing, here we go. Do you think Dylan Cousins or Trevor Zegras can be traded this offseason? Yes to both. The problem is, don't want Zegras.
Oh, I'm not saying I want them. I just think they both will be traded.
I thought you were mouthing like, yeah, give me Zegras. I'm like, no. I don't want Zegras.
I mean, okay. If they'll take both of if we'll trade both of them for like a bag of chips, I'll take them. Like if they want like no. But what I'm saying is like, if Buffalo's like, we just want to offload Cousins. Okay, yeah, like what do you want? What do you want? Like Sam Poulin? You want Sam Poulin for that? Fine, I'll do that deal. Trevor's then call Anaheim and they're like, yeah, we want to offload Zegras. We're like, I mean, you want
future considerations?
You want a 5th round draft pick? Yeah, here you go. Those types of trades I do, but not like, Pickering. Like we got to give up Pickering or we got to give up Rucker or Kopanen or any of those guys, any of our main guys. No shot. No way. Or even any in the first 3 rounds of draft picks. They're not worth it. To be honest, they've both shown that they were both kind of a flash in the pan. That they were both
Zegras, yeah.
Yeah, I think Cousins too. He had one good season. Maybe I'm recalling, differently on Buffalo on Cousins, but I think he just had one good season and that was it. I think they're both flash in the pans. They aren't consistently good, because if they were consistently good, they would not be up in talks for being traded. So
I agree with you. They're flash in the pans, especially Zegras. Cousins is in Buffalo. And I know you can argue. Hold on.
Hold on. What you're going to say is it's Buffalo who wants to play there. It's a bad organization. But I don't want to hear that bull.
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say Zegras is in an Anaheim as well. They're both bad teams. But Zegras was good once, half a season. Cousins, I think, is a good player in a bad system. So I feel like there's one who's a better hockey player, which is Cousins.
Sure.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. I am not saying Buffalo is not a destination place and all that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. Buffalo is a great hockey area. It's just that they're not trying to get better. I think it's kind of like the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, it's a great football team. They just don't want to get better. And,
Yeah.
it's like, it's Buffalo. It's like, it's a great hockey place. Just, they don't want to get better. And they're paying for it. So I don't know what the Penguins are going to do. And I don't know what they should do. If I just want to know what are they doing now? What are they doing now? Like, are we losing and are we trying to go to the draft? If so, cool. That's awesome. Let's go to the draft. Let's lose out. You know what I would do? Here's how you know we're going to lose out. And I'll give you a little secret here. Crosby just came back, fought through this whatever to play in this game. Sid's out for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sid is out for the next 2 weeks. And that is how you know we are going to be losing out. Because Sid is a competitor. And if you sit down and go, listen, bud, we're not making the playoffs. There's no need to push hard. Do you want to take a break? And I guarantee you, I'm sure it'll be hard for him, but he'll say, yeah, just give me week by week about my arm. I'll be out. And then that's great. And then we'll lose, and we get a first overall pick. We let a lot of guys walk in the offseason, and we bring the young guns up, and we try to get one NHL player or a couple. Honestly, that's a great...
That's 1,000%.
I do that all day. I do that
1,000%.
all day, Armand. I do that literally if you gave me that, yeah, that's great. I love that trade.
That's
too bad no one wants that.
That's the type of trade where, like, if Dubas called Buffalo and was like, hey, I want Cousins. Do you want Ryan Graves? And they say, oh, sure. You literally hang up and call the NHL office. Like, you literally just whoop. Yep.
Oh no, I didn't say yes. I was just curious. Nope, already happened. It's already.
Yep, it's already in the office. It's done.
We already paid for his plane ticket. Can you just send him over? Well, actually, I'm getting in the car right now. I'll drive to Buffalo.
Graves is actually at the airport waiting for you.
Graves was already informed. He was traded. He's just in the plane right now in circles, waiting for a destination.
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. You got traded where? I don't know yet. Just get in the plane and I'll let you know where you're going.
I'll let the pilot know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Ryan Graves, he's just not good. Just so great. Another great example. So not so good, but good in New Jersey. And when we got him, we were like, whoa, we're revamping the defense. And look at the poop that he is giving out. So you don't know who's going to be good. You don't know who's going to be bad. That's a job for all the scouts. That's a job for all the people who get paid way more than guys who don't get paid on a podcast. So, so that's it. That's the future of the Penguins. It's uncertain. All I know is Sidney Crosby has 2 more years on his contract, and we better get a cup before that happens. So,
quick answer.
Yeah.
Is he playing tomorrow night?
No.
Ooh. Okay. We'll see.
Hey, Josh, quick question. Who's playing tomorrow night in net?
Blomqvist.
Yeah, I think so too. Ned's nowhere. Yeah, you know what Mike Sullivan did, Josh? He walked past Ned Stahl and said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you out of the net." And then he's gonna say, "What are you talking about? That's my net." And he goes,
"It's everybody's
Ned. It was everybody's net."
But no, I think to be fair to Blomqvist and to the future of the Penguins, we have to decide if this is our guy. And to be honest, the last few showings, I'm super nervous. Yeah. I was super hyped for Yoel, and now I'm super nervous. So,
but to be fair, hold on real quick. To be fair on that point, directly on that point, he hasn't been given the confidence that a starter
No,
should.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now he needs a fair shot at being the guy. And by
Yeah,
doing so,
I agree.
you need to swap this order. You need to, because if you're not banking on making the playoffs, which we all agreed at the beginning of this episode, we're done.
Yeah.
You say, okay,
Yeah.
this is it.
Done. Blom is in for the rest of the season.
Blom is the guy going forward. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
Maybe
Sucks for
not
Ned.
fair. It's only right. It's only right.
Yeah. I think what you might see to that point is very similar to how we treated Jari and Ned last year, where it's like 1-1-1-1. They're going to be sharing the load.
Possible. Yeah. I'll take that too, though, because then it's not, because this is we have a lot of games in a short amount of time going forward.
Yeah.
So
What is it? 25 games or something like that?
we have 25 games left. Yeah, but we only have like a month and a half of the season left. So
Yeah.
it's like 25 games in like 40 something days, I think it is.
Yeah, that's wild. Speaking of days and games, before we go, next weekend we have another back-to-back. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
We are not going live.
We may
not
not even be tweeting.
No, we're not tweeting.
Yeah.
A bunch of our family is getting together, so we are just not doing anything. And
Celebrate
that's
this guy.
great. Yeah, I'm getting old.
It's his birthday. It's
Yeah.
his birthday.
Yeah. Josh, my dream of playing in the NHL, gone. It's gone now. It's officially gone. It was officially gone when I turned the age of 12 and I wasn't already the next Sidney Crosby, but it's okay. It just took me, until I was 30 to be like, I guess I will never make the NHL.
It's all right. It hit me when I don't know, when I was like 22 or whatever, and like everyone who's being drafted was like born in the year 2000, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
It
God.
does stink when they're like, then hey, the best player in the world coming up. Oh yeah, he is 18 years old. And you're like, oh God.
See, like that doesn't hit me. It's the year that they're born. It's like,
Well, sure, but it says it. Like when people are like, oh, they're doing a lot right now where it's like a TikTok trend or whatever, and they're trying to buy alcohol, and they go, oh, I was born in 2007, and they go, you're too young to buy alcohol, and they go, no, I'm 21, and you're like, oh,
it's 2004, by the way,
whatever.
not 2007, but yeah.
Oh no, I think it was then. Oh, wouldn't that make sense? 2007 to be 18. 18 would be cigarettes or something. So it was something like that. And they were like, I was born in 2007. And she was like, oh. Like she was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the feeling, that I'm sure you feel. I feel. Everyone, like, my brother-in-law was born when? After 2002. And I'm just like, gross.
Yeah.
You didn't see 9/11.
I was gonna say if you weren't alive during 9/11, you're too young.
You're too young.
Too young. I don't care.
But
if like now you're like 20, you could be 22 right now. No.
Yeah, gross. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here, dude. But anyway, speaking of young guns, we have to go get some for the Penguins. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
And Penguins got to be better. Listen, I have no hope for the Penguins this season. I don't think anyone does. This PK Subban rant came out of Four Nations Sidney Crosby dominant performance where everyone was like, man, Sid is really good. We need to get Pittsburgh some help. We're like, hi, Penguins fans. We've been saying that for the last 2 seasons. No one has been listening to us. So no one's going to listen to you, PK.
Well, I mean, it's also because PK had a really good rant the other day about the difference between NHL players and
that
NBA
got
players.
views, dude.
That was so good. So good.
You could tell the people on ESPN did not know how to respond. They were like
it.
Because they were like, but it's about the money. He's like, they get paid. He was like, they get paid. And the guys were like, yeah. Like, these guys are getting paid under $1 million, and they're willing to go kill themselves on the ice. Don't tell me it's about character. Some of these guys are getting paid $750,000 a year. There are people on Wall Street that make more than that, and these guys are willing to punch each other in the face. Don't tell me it's not about heart. I did like his rant. But anyway, we got to wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, it's awesome to be back into the swing of things. Great tournament happened with the Four Nations. Canada still sucks, but it's going to be okay because they'll become our 51st state, and it's going to be A-okay. Josh got a lot of heat for that comment.
Across multiple platforms.
Dude. So it was Thursday night. I was not having a good day. And I watched that overtime, and my heart was beating so fast. Because I was like, come on, please score. And that Austin Matthews, front of the net, Bennington got a blocker on it. I was like, oh. And I was like, watch, they're going to score. And then all of a sudden, they left, what's his name? McDavid, all alone. And it was Matthews who did it. And I was just like, oh, dude, rip that C off your chest. You don't deserve it. Give it to one of the Kachuk brothers who's want to kill each other for it.
Honestly.
But, yeah, he did nothing this tournament. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, devastating loss. But guess what? I saw someone who made a really good point. Canada, you guys are saying, ha, suck it, we beat you. Wasn't that supposed to happen? You guys are claiming this is your sport, right? So you can't be coming in boasting against us. Don't forget, we beat you. That was the big thing. I thought you were good at hockey. This should have been an easy win for you. Don't worry. We'll see you in 2028. We'll see you. And when you get eliminated by... Isn't that the Olympics? 2026. 2026. Yeah. Hey, when you get eliminated by either Germany or Russia, just we'll see you in the Winter Olympics. We all know women's hockey is going to win. We all know our Paralympics, Josh, best in the world, USA. Just want to say, you guys think you have hockey down. You don't. But anyway, okay, let's wrap up, Josh. Sorry. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Go USA. We'll get them next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do. And I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment. I'm trying to defend my country right now.
Wait, Armand is Canadian?
Hey, Armand, I'm sorry that you live up there. But USA talked all that crap last Saturday. And then when it mattered the most, Canada got it done in overtime. Don't act like you guys dominated. You guys, listen, here's the difference. Can I say one more thing and we'll wrap up?
Sure.
Hey, you got it done by a millisecond, okay? Don't act like you... If you guys beat us 8-3, I would say, all right, you got us. We are not good. You guys won 3-2 against our scrappy little American team. Shut up. You had Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, McKinnon, and Makar, and you couldn't get it done the way you wanted to. Ooh, that must burn, doesn't it? To have all that talent and win by 1. To have all that talent and the game could have went either way. We could have beat you 2 seconds before. But, hey, you had a good save. Good job. It comes down to a game of inches. But I'll tell you this. You guys are not alone at the top of the hockey world anymore. Armand, what the frick am I reading? I'm American and root for the team, Canada, in hockey, and live in New Jersey. Let me just take down that
Your
comment.
face. Your face. Your face. I'm not laughing at Armand. I'm laughing at you. Yeah, that
I don't
face.
care. I'm
Your
laughing at
face
Armand.
dropped. Your face dropped.
I'm American and root for Team Canada? You better erase the first two sentences of the first two words of that sentence.
He just likes
You're not
greatness, apparently.
Then welcome to Team United States.
Well, the one thing that I like going forward is that, like, honestly, Team Canada, they got some old heads. They're gonna be done by 2016 to 2026. Is Crosby playing? Is Marchand playing
Next year?
No, they aren't playing. They aren't playing on Team Canada in the Olympics. Do you think so?
Josh, it's Sidney Crosby.
I don't think so.
All right. That's just as worse than what Armand said. Sidney Crosby.
You really think he's going to play next year in the
100%.
Olympics?
100%. And Josh, he'll play in the Four Nations the year after. Guaranteed. The dude is not done. Josh, he's still putting up a point per game.
I thought they said they were going, every 2 years. Yeah.
Every other year. Yeah, every other year.
Yeah.
So 2026 will be the Olympic break. 2027 will be Four Nations again.
Four Nations.
And so here's the thing, Josh. Crosby's going to play for Team Canada until they wheelchair him off the ice. Okay, that's what I think. Second of all, speaking of that wild game, where was Patrick Kane on Team USA?
Oh shoot, yeah. Did he not make it, or was he just a
No.
scratch?
No, he didn't make the team.
Kind of like Stamkos wasn't on Team Canada.
That's wild.
That I know.
I feel like Kane should have been the captain.
No, he shouldn't have been the captain, but he should have been.
Why? He's the old head. He's the guy.
No, but
he's.
I don't.
I feel like he's Mr. America.
Kind of like the group we had. But
Stamkos. We clearly needed something else. Austin Matthews does not deserve to have that C, by the way. Get him out.
Who do you give it to?
On that roster?
Yeah.
I would have said Matthew Tkachuk. He had most passion on that team.
No.
You're thinking of Brady.
You're thinking of post the games. I'm talking about going into the games. Who would you have given it to?
Larkin.
I don't think it would have been Larkin.
Why not?
I don't know who
he's the current captain of the Red Wings. He's super patriotic. He's born in Michigan, played in Michigan, and now still plays in Michigan. I think that he's a perfect American guy. Yeah. Who would you have given it to?
I don't know. That's the thing. I think it would have just gone to Matthews.
No, I hate. You know what I despise? Giving the captain. Yeah, that's not hockey. Get that out. That's football. Oh, you're Quebec. You must be captain. It's like, no. It's like there's guys on that team that are captains. There's guys on teams that like will stand up for each other. Will say the right things. Like after watching the Four Nations, Matthew Tkachuk was a great guy, great leader.
Yeah. Now, like after the fact, I get it.
Right.
Giving it to
I
one
did
of the
not
Tkachuks.
see Austin Matthews do anything. He was there. He didn't even trash talk. He didn't like. And listen,
I got comments about him that I'm going to keep off air. But yeah.
Whoa! I can't wait to do that. Let's end the episode right now. All right, Armand, you lost. Josh wrote the comment in our private chat, and it was pretty funny. But Josh, we're a serious podcast. Let's wrap up. Armand, you can be quiet now. I thought you were you threw me through a loop. I thought you were just Canadian. The fact that you're American and defending Team Canada is wild, dude. Wild. The most unpatriotic thing I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this ridiculous episode. We're happy to be back. Can't wait to go over the game tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I got a beer league game at 7:30, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, it starts literally the same time. So we would wrap up. So I would want to leave early. Josh, I'm an
fine.
early person.
I can't middle of the day. I can't tweet. I can't do it.
I know.
So-
I could live tweet.
Okay. I'm cool.
So
going
I can
solo.
live tweet. I think I have to leave if the game starts at 7:30. I want to get there by 7, so I'll leave around 6:15.
Yeah, that's when the game would be over. Yeah. So if you're cool live tweeting, I'm cool going solo because I just can't. I can't do.
We just
tweeting
figured it out.
in the
That's
middle
great.
of the day. All right.
So you'll see
Perfect.
that from Josh. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, Josh. As always,
God bless America.
free bird. Yeah.
It's Crosby. Crosby on Trinity shot. Penguins win it!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.
I'm in my zone.